always loved the English pub, and we do a lot of entertaining, and it's something we had in our mind.
You know, everybody that walk in, oh, nice bar. How long's it been?
The idea was to finish the basement within 8 weeks. That was over a year ago.
When things got out of control and months had passed, he said that he would never leave us high and dry.
And then, where did he go? He took that money and ran, didn't he?
He did. And we never heard from him again. And we've tried calling him, emailing him. We've done it all. And he just will not return our calls.
Mike Holmes, look at this. Is that garbage or what? Look, you buggers, they haven't vented anything. This is ridiculous. Everything is wrong. I've decided now to gut it. Take it all down.
Mike Holmes, I love you.
Me too. You want a good job to keep you in shape? Be a contractor. Unacceptable. God, I love my job.
My sister bought a place up here, so we thought it was quite a good spot to live.
We loved it, and we just looked around for the house that we wanted to get, and we picked this one, and they built it for us. My husband's family's from England originally, and we always loved the English pub, and it's something we always had in our mind, I think, from early on when we moved into the house. And we do a lot of entertaining.
And I'm a big sports fan, so, you know, I want to have a Super Bowl party, Grey Cup party, Stanley Cup party, so. Well, we had a Super Bowl party anyway with no ceiling and a 60-inch TV sitting on the floor. You know, and everybody that walk in, oh, nice bar. Yeah. Excellent. And they lean up against it. Yeah, this is going to be nice. How long's it been?
Jim and Lisa, I'm sure, have saved many years to purchase a home as wonderful as this one. The idea was to finish the basement, give them an entertainment center, an office, and a nice pub bar. Everybody wants that. Goes with the big TV. And be finished within 8 weeks. 8 weeks is probably a good coordinating time for this job. I think I could have done it in less time, but you know what? Let's say 8 weeks anyways. That was over a year ago.
We looked up in the Yellow Pages and found about 3 different local contractors, and so we had those 3 come into our home, give us an estimate. And then it turns out our neighbor 2 doors down was also having their basement finished. We went and looked at the job that was done there, and we really liked what he'd done, so we called him in, and his price was actually considerably less than the other contractors we had. And we knew his work there, so we thought it made sense.
The housing market right now, average cost is $300,000. How do you think you can finish your basement with a bar, a bathroom, an office, electrical, plumbing, structure, permits for $15,000? The bar alone is around $15,000. Lisa, Jim, nice to see you. How you doing?
Hey, Mike. Good.
Come on in, Mike.
Nice place.
So we have an issue downstairs, do we?
We have a big issue downstairs.
All right, let's go take a look. Well, we're almost finished. So what happened?
We're not 100% sure. I guess the initial couple weeks he was here frequently. He started coming less and less and less, and we said, you know, what's going on? Obviously, we're not on track to finish in the 8 weeks. He told us not to worry. When things got out of control and months had passed, he said that he would never leave us high and dry.
It's a real simple thing here. Just be a man of your word, stand up and say, I've made a mistake. I can't finish this for this money. And they gave him plenty of opportunity.
We suspected that there was some trouble. Maybe things were tight. Maybe he underquoted. We even approached him and said, let's sit down and figure out a solution that we can all live with.
Just couldn't be honest. He would just look you right in the eye and say, this is going to happen this week.
Straight in the eye.
And then where did he go?
This is what I call divorce dust. This really can cause massive problems with your relationship.
Then we start bickering with each other, like, well, how should we handle it? Well, you said this. Well, you shouldn't have said that, or I called. No, you shouldn't have called him. I called him, and so we started getting on each other, and it was.
So we emailed Mike Holmes. Yay!
So we've done the whole basement?
Yes.
Okay, first appearance, it's not so bad except for the bar. The good news is that you weren't completely ripped off because this is more or less a $40,000 to a $50,000 job with the bar. This shows that there is some experience here. So he's taking care of the electrical, the plumbing, complete finishing. This was a separate price on itself?
Yes.
And
He was the one that recommended us to go flush it rather than the corner.
Okay, I mean, this is really nice. Did you have something in mind here?
Just a surface shelf to place the TV on, or a complete built-in, including the fireplace. But we're sort of open. As long as it's there, we don't mind how it's there.
And off the floor, obviously.
And off the floor.
Yeah, off the floor. I definitely would have taken this fireplace, brought it out on a neo angle, because this doesn't work for me. You know, you're centered in the living room, and this is really focal straight this way instead of really towards the center. So I'm sure we can work with that. Do you like the suspended ceiling?
We were never crazy about that.
It was supposed to be a regular acoustic tile that they installed, but at about the 9-month mark, he showed up with these fiberglass ones, and we thought, well, it's better to have a ceiling than no ceiling.
Can I just back up there for a second? 9 months? 9 months.
He had told us that if we didn't want to hold up production to get the materials in, and if we wanted to save ourselves 10 or 15%, he would purchase them for us on his contracting account. So we did give him a large check. He cashed it within a few days, and we never saw our product.
He took that money and ran, didn't he?
He did.
I think the mistake we made is he kept asking for deposits before he did the work, and so he got to a certain point where we'd paid him too much, and it just wasn't worth it for him to come back and finish.
Not only was he our contractor, but we actually went to concerts with him. Jim took him golfing. You know, we had him for steak dinners on many occasions. He'd just stay after, watch the game on TV.
Because we liked the guy. Like, he was a nice enough guy.
He broke our hearts. That's what he did. You know.
I know personally that life can throw curves into you, and I'm sure that's exactly what happened to this contractor. But stand up to it. I'm sorry. I've made a mistake and I have to go. I'd rather see somebody do that than to take that last check and run with it. However, we're here. I'm going to bring in a bar specialist. We're going to make sure the electrical's good, the plumbing's good.
That
so if you
sounds
do me a
fantastic.
favor, let me do my job. You stay out of here.
Okay.
And I'll bring you back and show you how this should have looked.
Right on.
Okay.
Awesome. Sounds awesome.
Okay.
Thank you
I won't be
so
long.
much, Mike.
We'll be ready for the football season to start.
Sounds good. You want to finish your basement, you're at an average cost of $15,000. That's just the basics. You add a bar, a fireplace, an office, a bathroom. You are in the area now from $30,000 to $50,000. For a change, we don't have major devastation here. This actually looks pretty damn
Not too
good.
bad.
Other than the bar, No, this is not quite the way we would frame in a bar.
I don't think these 2x2s are the code, Mike.
No.
There is a code on bars.
What I'd like to do today is pull the ceiling tiles down, do an inspection. I want to pull the fireplace in the corner out because I see that being kitty corner rather than straight. Yeah.
Neo angle,
Yeah,
22.5 degrees.
maybe brick around it rather than stone. Because it's zero clearance, we can do really anything we want to do.
Brick veneer, or are you talking like a
No,
slate?
real brick. Solid
Okay.
brick, yeah. So we'll just frame it and then brick all around it. That's what I'm thinking. So we'll just grab a few tools. I'm gonna gently take everything down just for an inspection, but my first initial look, I think everything is not so bad. Just moving the furniture and covering it up so I can pull down all the tiles and start taking a good look at what's been done here. 'Cause the last thing I want to do is pull everything down again. The suspended ceiling in itself, don't like that. But what do? As much as I don't like the suspended ceiling, I can work with what's here and make it look better. There's a lot happening above the ceiling that should always be accessible. So anything with a light, leave it in.
Yeah.
It's just a tile. It's an insul tile, easy bendable. And the idea for using these really is for a lower, because normally you need 3 inches away from your ceiling to put a suspended ceiling in. In this case, we're probably 5 inches away. The idea is if you're below 3 inches, this is the tile to use because you can bend them a bit and get them in place.
Forks then.
And to boot, it's an insul tile, so it's insulation as well. You know, it gives you sound ratings as well.
R.5.
It's just not a very pretty looking tile, I guess I could say.
Today, my special friend is Mike Holmes.
The reason why this junction box is totally acceptable is because you can get to it. You can pull the tile out, and it is accessible. As long as you can get to it, it's allowed. I take this all down. I move all the plumbing, I move all the electrical to make everything legal for inspections. We're looking at the possibility of $10,000 worth of work for a drywall ceiling. So I'm gonna have to agree with a suspended ceiling in this case. If I don't find anything wrong, I'm not gonna pull this down. It all looks good. His electrical is neat, it's proper. Everything I see, all his methods are good. So he's done me a favor. I just have to finish it. If I were to design this, I might have said, okay, let's brick this wall and just do an interior brick finish on this wall. That way it gives character. To be honest with you, I'm thinking of it now. To take this wall from this point to where it juts out, which is approximately 14 feet, I can now put up a brick wall on the inside. What it's going to do is enhance the look. You can see that the flex line that comes off the zero clearance gas insert comes up here and out the wall here, and it looks like at this point, it looks like we'll have the room to pull it out and maneuver it.
Good.
Well, it's not like we're doing a complete demo and I'm trying to keep my dirt in this area, so I'm not in a hurry. I'm going to take my time, take it down neatly. I want to raise dust throughout the whole house, nor do I want everything to spread across the floor that we can easily step on it and mark the floor, which makes me replace the floor. It's totally fine. It's been so long since I've been gentle with something. It's kind of a change.
It's different.
It feels weird. Well, the idea right now is just want to take this down. Everything appears to be fine again, which I'm happy to see. So I'll just remove all the lumber that's around it. So I can easily now take this, bring it to where I want, build around it. I do have the room to maneuver this. I don't even have to disconnect the gas, hydro, nothing. Just pick it up, turn it, rebuild it. What I'm happy about here, and the reason I'm not yelling and screaming and carrying on, is that it's not bad work. And the best part about it is now I get to bring in real craftsmen. And we're going to make some changes in here that are simple. The bar's not simple. But little changes in here that are simple, yet going to make such a difference in this finished look. I'd like to pick it up just a bit, because we know our TV is going to be 49 inches to the center of the screen. It wouldn't hurt to pick this up just a little more.
Maybe we should go to the bar, have a few drinks.
Hey.
Think about it.
All right. Let's go.
Hey, Mike.
Nick.
How you doing?
Nice to see you again. Can I get you a drink?
Yeah, sure. You ready?
Nice to see you. Who's this?
This is George, our lead carpenter.
George. Nice to meet you. We have choices now because I'm going to pull the tiles.
The way the carpenter approached this is in a rough carpentry way. We wouldn't approach this bar at all like this, so we don't have any use of this whatsoever. This looks like it's at the wrong height. This is certainly not substantial enough to...
strong.
And it's not strong. It has a little bit of a shake to it.
Just a little.
First of all, let's look at the layout. Usually the first thing that people want for everyone to notice when they walk down is the bar, because it is
It's the focal
point, right? So as far as I'm concerned, the positioning is good. Service area is correct. So I would almost encourage using the same layout if you're good with that.
Well, I'm good with it, but the back corner here we've really got to do something with. We have a panel. And we have to be able to get to that panel, but yet we don't want to see it, right? All right, I'll let you guys go to this, measure it up.
We're going to measure it up, yeah.
And we'll take it from there. Thank you.
Thank you, Mike.
George, thank you, sir. And we're on schedule for Monday.
George is working away.
You're the man.
Right now as we speak.
You're the man.
All right.
You know what? I'm going to drop by your shop, go over a few details on design, and maybe look at some stain options. Nick.
Mike, how you doing?
Nice place.
See you.
I like it.
Thank you. George and Monica are working away.
This is looking good.
We covered this with quarter-inch thick plywood.
You're going to veneer over top?
Yes.
You won't see a screw on this.
Nice. Nice. Okay.
There's an 8-inch base, probably 4 and 4 on the stiles and the top rail, and he's equally spaced it. So we're going to see the same size panel on the mitered corner, and we're going to see 2 more on the long leg when we bring it to the site, right?
Now your designer has got some plans here.
Yep. What he's done is he's introduced this really shallow cabinetry, floor to ceiling on the back bar, where first thing you see when you come down the stairs is going to be a full
I
height.
like it. And what it's going to do is cover up the electrical panel. Will we see the electrical panel through it, or we have some sort of sleeve that covers it up and then that's removable?
Okay, his thoughts on that were it's going to be full cabinet glass, etched, or sandblasted glass.
Beautiful. Nick, keep up the good work, buddy.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
The idea of putting the brick up against the wall is not just to make a brick wall. It's to make it look like we took a wall down and exposed old brick. The look is great. We see it in a lot of bars nowadays. We're going to use this limestone for shelving. It's going to look really good. This is the one you picked?
This is it.
So you get to see your bar. There's a lot you don't get to see. I okayed it with Jim. Well, let's take a look at the stain and see what it's going to apply like with the oak.
It's a little brown.
Now that's what I want to see.
Look at the grain in that.
Now, is this just stain?
There is a lacquer on it.
Okay, let's make that look. You sold?
I'm sold.
All right. Is that Scott? What's up, buddy?
How are you, Sean?
Very good. Nice to see you.
How are you, Mike?
Pleasure to see you again, sir. I'm happy we're building a bar. You know, come on now. This is gonna be great. I'm building a bar. I have a few ideas for you, Scotty, that I would like to look at. The idea here at the beginning was to have 2 French doors, but I'm looking at iron doors here.
Like a gate?
Yeah. 2 doors, not too extravagant, but keep it simple.
It's gonna be like see-through, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's not going to be anything like closed in.
No, nothing, no glass, no nothing. 6 feet by 80 is your finishing. Would it be wise to add a little bit of black metal within the bar itself if we do this? What do you think?
Maybe a foot rail would be enough.
Ooh, I like that.
A foot rail there and a foot rail there, and nothing too crazy where you have to join them.
And the other thing is that we have the big TV on the wall there, a nice little short, let's say 18-inch table with a wood top that the TV goes on. What do you think?
For the TV stand, do like a heavy square tube leg, a thick cherry top, a pierced bar lower shelf, a cherry foot.
Oh, I like that.
Coming out of the bottom of the tubing, and then maybe we could incorporate this into the gate.
Like have a frame and have this sort of inset like a web?
Yeah.
This works for me. We'll let you get to it and I'll get back to you soon. I'll
Okay.
come up and see you.
Sounds good.
All right, let's get to work. Let's just take this crap down. The homeowners here did not get drastically taken. They got taken advantage of. But financially, they were not in ruins, and it's not like I'm coming in here to save their lives, literally. This is about what they wanted in the first place. They got prices from $80,000, $50,000, all of a sudden $19,000 to get their dream. Well, who's going to go with the 80 or 50 when you get presented with $19,000 as someone that's very kind-hearted and saying, not an issue. He couldn't do it. Not for $19,000. So I come in, I explain in detail what it's going to take to create the pub look. So that gives me the go-ahead. We can see that he's used thin set. I love thin set. Unfortunately, his thin set was either a bad mix, he did it too dry, or he let it dry on the floor too long, because I should not be able to pop up a tile like that. You can see, it didn't even bond to the tile. It hit certain areas. This would be more wet, this would be extremely dry. Because everything is really laid out improperly, we do not have a consistent cut here that looks normal. As soon as you look at it, you think, what's wrong with this? Something doesn't look right. It's only because it's not even. I mean, symmetry, we have to think. We had that neo-angle bar angle here, and everything should comply. Everything should go with it. Why are we seeing the grout under the tiles?
I don't know. Weird, eh?
That's because he grouted right away. His grout was extremely wet, and it bled underneath the tile. It should never do that.
No, I haven't seen that either.
Brian, nice to see you, pal. How you doing, buddy? Thanks for coming by.
No problem.
Get some ideas. I need you over here. This fireplace here is zero clearance gas, and it was installed straight into the wall, so I ripped it all out, and I want to do a neo-angle effect.
Yeah.
Can we do a brick surround around this, just to enhance it a little more?
Beautiful, yeah.
I love the idea of doing a brick wall in the basement, like one wall.
That'll look really nice. Did you want to brick this side too?
Well,
just
the only
one
thing
wall?
is the TV's going there, and it might be too much, but to do a brick wall here
On one side.
and the corner, and still enhances the fireplace. I don't know if I like the idea of neo-angle straight up.
You want to make a mantle too?
That's what I'm thinking. This actually looks good. If you can visualize the length of it coming across, it actually looks good. You can picture the brick within place, coming up, mantle going in, coming up again. Cool?
Cool.
Thanks, buddy.
No problem.
Okay. I'm just cutting the sill gasket to go underneath it because we do not want concrete touching wood. Remember, wood and concrete absorb water. It's a wick, so if there's any water underneath this floor, it'll absorb it up, absorb it into the wood, and rot the wood, mold. You want to stay away from that. If this fireplace was on its own, it may look a little too high, but because we have a beautiful table here and the TV up, I want to bring the fireplace up. I sort of want it to be symmetric with the TV. I want to see that brick like this. And it's not even tight, eh? We need a little bit of half-inch space behind for mortar, plus our concrete board. How are we doing today?
Yeah, Mike.
Nice to see you again. You ready to play?
Yeah.
Your brick's gonna come right up. We're gonna do a lintel across here. We're gonna extend it out underneath the concrete board so you can carry a brick load on top here. We are using a steel lintel to carry only 3 rows of brick. However, the heat off the top of this hits the steel and not wood, so I prefer that, even though it is a zero clearance. Concrete board is fire rated and it's not gonna be an issue. I'm going to go to the extreme because I think it's important. I just did a measurement here looking on what I see for the shelf. We have a 6-foot limestone shelf that's going to go across here. I want it to be in the same line as the top of the fireplace which you're going to create the mantle. Then we have 2 3-footers, so I'm thinking of dropping them down. So that way I can just draw it out, stand back, take a look at it, and see if it's too much. If If you notice, Vince is putting brick ties in. By code, it's required every 6 rows. This is something you'll normally see on the outside of your house, but even on the inside, we have to keep it from moving in and out, and that's the idea. The brick ties locks that into place so it doesn't go anywhere. If I had chosen to go with a veneer brick, on cost comparison, we're actually saving not using the veneer brick and created the look that we wanted. So I will encourage to use full brick over a veneer any day. But he's going to tool it after it dries a little bit. We're going to go in about 1/4 of an inch to give it a little bit of reveal. I don't want too much, but I wouldn't mind neatening it up a little bit, yet keep it still looking old. This is going to look so good. Today I have to go up and see Scott for the metal gates, and I'm really excited. I can't wait to see it. Good morning.
Good morning.
Vince,
Hi, Mike.
thanks for coming by in a flash. I really appreciate it. Yvette.
Hi, Mike. How are you?
Good. I've talked to you on the phone.
Yes, we have.
Excellent.
Several times.
Come on and take a look. What I want to do is step it back to this point here, and that brick is going to come up straight up here. So I know the brick's okay near it. I just didn't want it near the wood. And since I broke the seal, I called you.
Good.
Okay?
Yes, I'll take care of it.
Thanks, Vince.
You're welcome.
Okay.
This is not a do-it-yourselfer. You need to have a professional do this because there's a special place that it must be sealed, and the gas code states that a certified technician do this. This is an aluminum liner. You have an inner and an outer. The inner is for the gas going up, and then the airspace in between is for the air coming into the unit. That's why they call it direct vent. And this aluminum is only good for gas. It is not good for wood. This can only withstand about 400, 450 degrees Fahrenheit, whereas a stainless steel can withstand up to about 2100 degrees, which is the temperature of a chimney fire.
You all done?
All done.
Thank you. So it's all sealed. You checked outside. Everything's fine?
That's very good.
We'll see you on the next one.
Yes, very good.
Okay.
My pleasure.
Well, you know what? We're doing really good. Brian and his guys got this far. I really like it. You know, we'll get this framed up and complete it for the brick guys. Now we concentrate on us working over the bar area. Today I have to go up and see Scott for the metal gates. He's already had the table made, and I'm really excited. I can't wait to see it. So I'm going to take the afternoon and go up and see him. How we doing, Scotty?
Hey, Mike.
How you doing? Came up all the way from the city to see you here, take a look at these wonderful gates. Brought Sean with me.
Welcome. Sean, how's it going?
Thanks for the vacation, real good.
Anytime.
Tom, pleasure meeting you, sir. This is Sean.
Nice to meet you, Tom. Pleasure.
Look at this. Oh my God.
Instead of putting some kind of additional latch on the gates, I decided just to go for this clean look.
All that.
So this slides in. Gates
that
will
is
open up,
dope.
and then that just slides into itself.
You see the little snake effect? I really like that.
You can open in or open out.
Look at that. Oh.
The table's almost finished. We just have to put the lower shelf in.
Is this a wax finish on this?
That's a Danish oil finish.
Danish oil
Right over the
finish.
cherry?
Tom's put about 6 coats of oil on it so far.
This is amazing.
Probably go
This
a
is
couple more
just
coats.
phenomenal.
Well, I mean, can you use my help on anything? We're here for a bit.
Yeah, that'd be great. We've got one side of the gates has a detail in it, so we just have to match that up for the other side. So we've got a bit of forging to do. We have to hammer out this piece, point both ends, so we can give it that snake detail when we're finished.
I would love to help you on this. Perfect. Just show me what to do.
All right.
Try and roll it down the piece. You try and keep the sharp end.
Okay, start up here?
Yeah, just slightly tap down, roll.
I love making anything. Are you kidding? This is great.
Done this before?
Nope.
No?
But I'm a fast learner. Wow.
Let those cool down, and then we'll flip them over, and we'll do the other end.
Okay.
And then for these guys, we're gonna pound those out as well to match up with the horizontal bars here. And for that, we don't really need to heat it. We can just pound that out cold.
What you're doing there is creating that rough look that I see on the bars.
Yeah. Next thing we have to do is create the curve to match up with that side.
So how do you do that?
That we're gonna bend around
The jigs? That's what I
on the
thought.
rack.
Sean, come on over here. Let's bend some metal, buddy.
This is just a one-off, so rather than make a jig to the exact curve, we're gonna cheat and we're gonna use just another jig that I have. You wanna take the rest of those?
I learn something new every day.
About 2 inches.
Yeah,
and then
Just keep it straight. All right.
We're gonna do the wrap first, outside of the gates, and then we'll just weld it in as a unit when it's, when it's done.
Yeah.
Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're just gonna put a little tack to hold these in place, and then the wrap will cover the weld. We'll hide it.
Okay. Now I watched that. You really you didn't quite touch it, or did you?
No, I always stay about a ½ an inch away and just let the wire feed.
Okay, I can do that. Now why is it jumping like that?
You're just a little far away.
Too far away.
A little closer.
Okay. All right, look at that. I'm a welder.
Now we'll tack our wrap on.
Now we're gonna heat this up.
Yeah.
I had that feeling. This is where we use the torch.
So that's these settling, and then we're gonna mix in some oxygen so we get the proper flame. And away we go.
That'll cut through it, eh?
If you let it sit there, yeah, it'll just melt right away. And now, after a few wraps, the weld has disappeared. Then we'll just hammer it in tight. There's our detail.
Just like that.
So now you do a chop for whatever?
Yeah, we'll cut those to fit the other side, tack them in, and the gates are done. Okay, now we've got these cut and ready to fit inside. We just want to center them in between the 2-inch tubing.
Okay.
So we're going to use 2 3/4-inch spacers. That'll bring us up to center. And that just fits in there like a glove, and it mimics the other side.
Again, a spot weld.
Yep.
Are you going to continue like a round cycle, or is the tack good enough?
No, I'll weld them right in.
So you do a complete, nice, clean weld all the way around?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then it'll look nice and finished. Okay, now they're all tacked in. All looks good. Now I'll just weld around.
Okay. Now that's an art in itself, right? I'd have to do some practicing before I attempt that.
And that's it. The gates are done.
Thanks, buddy.
Mike, anytime.
Keep up the good work, eh?
I think Jim and Lisa are gonna lose their mind.
We can't wait to see the end product. We have no idea what's going on there. We heard a lot of noise, but we haven't peeked, so.
Yeah, I know a little bit more, but she doesn't know anything.
And he's a closed book. I hear all the noises going on there and a lot of fun happening, and I hear everybody saying how excited they are for us. All the crew is saying they wish it were their basement.
At the beginning of all this, Jim and Lisa had gone through a couple of years of, well, I'll say hell, for some personal reasons. So they decided to do the basement and hopefully change the pace of their lives. Unfortunately, they hired the wrong contractor.
He did our neighbor's basement, and they loved the guy, and that's how we got him recommended to us. And we thought he was terrific too. Got to know him, started hanging out.
We're watching games and drinking beers, and we became, reasonably good friends, we thought.
And then it turned sour. And why? All because someone can't be honest enough to say I goofed, I didn't charge enough money?
It became pretty clear to us that the nice guy was really maybe not who he was. It was just an effort to collect. And once he got paid, then he sort of disappeared.
And he looked me straight in the eye on countless occasions and swore that even though it was taking a long time and that things weren't going quite as planned, that he wouldn't let us down in the end. After trusting somebody you think is your friend, it really kind of shakes your beliefs about people, and it makes it much more difficult to trust.
There goes the friendship, there goes the job. Now what do?
We knew suing wasn't really going to work. Many people told us it was just a waste of time, money, and we might as well just take that money and put it into hiring somebody else. I did vent through that letter and just put everything in it that was on my mind, and just sent it off. And I didn't expect to hear anything back, so we were quite thrilled when we got a phone call.
The guys that I'm bringing in here, not only do they care about what clients think, they care about themselves in their job. In other words, they won't walk away until it's perfect. At the end of it all, this is going to be one hell of a job. And I'm going to leave knowing I want to come back. And we are going to be friends.
I mean, I'm sure people are excited when their basement is going to be finished or whenever a project is finished. But this one, because of what happened before, during it's going to be even more exciting to actually just sit down in the basement and have some people over and
It'll be
have a party.
very sweet. Very sweet.
This is a piece of art. Thank you. Abeno.
Thank you, Mike.
This looks excellent, I tell you. Brian.
Thank you.
You made my vision come true. Keep a hold of him, eh?
Yeah.
Nick, how you doing, buddy?
Good. How you doing? We were burning the midnight oil last night, Mike.
Well done. Look at that. This bar's gonna be together soon. We'll be serving drinks before you know it. 2 days left. Today we're gonna get as much painting done as we can. We're gonna get some ceiling tiles in. It's going to be tight, but we'll make it. You know, we have all the guys here today, so I think we're able to take advantage of all the manpower here and just coordinate it properly. How's it going, Des?
It's going pretty good, Mike.
The bar guys came back in and did the skirting effect on the outside with the trim. They have the lower counter in. The electrical is now run. The slate will go on top here, extend further out on the front. This is just perfect. I was hoping this trim would have come a little further out, so that way we have no issues of seeing what we see right now, right? We see brokenness, so what we're gonna have to do is plaster it so we fill this void. That way when this goes up, we don't see that ugliness. Damon's good at plastering?
We're about to see. This is the grand test. So Mike will tell you what he wants on the edge here.
Okay.
Because we gotta do it in a certain way.
I see. Sean has put up some mesh so we don't have an issue with, you know, if we have a crack here and we're gonna put in some sheetrock 90. What that's gonna do is help hold it tight so in the future for movement of the house reasons from winter to summer, we don't see any cracks here. This allows us to hold it tight rather than just trying to plaster it, put the trim up, it will crack. Would have been easier if I had wider trim, but the look is good. So we work with it. Give me 6-inch flare right across. Thin coat first. Let's scrape this down with the trowel as well before we sand it. Always scrape first with the trowel. Sure thing. Otherwise you're sanding forever and it just creates too much dust. Okay, so we've got to start here and just make sure, I would like to see it staggered and make sure it joins in at this point. I think you're right. You're gonna have to center the middle tile.
Yeah, it'll look the best though.
So you're fine?
Yeah, I'm good here.
With the slate, we're gonna have all the iron. Now we have 2 foot irons on the floor here, one on this side and one on this side, and the iron gates on here behind me. Their lacquered finish goes perfect with the slate. So we're gonna have that on top of the slate, the chairs in themselves, the gates. This is why I've gotta be very picky with the color on the walls. We'll go white on the ceiling for sure. We'll enhance that, brighten it up. But the walls, I'm really starting to think of some sort of suede. I'd love to do a suede paint. Not just the color, but it's actually a textured paint. We'll get the rest of the tiles done in the front, do the tiles within the bar itself. Last minute, we're gonna put in the ceiling tiles, obviously the paint. We'll be done soon.
Priming's pretty straightforward. All you're really trying to do is to make sure you have even coverage. Priming is very important, only because if you have a weak prime coat, then the paint's not gonna cover properly. Priming's not usually fun because you've really gotta press it on the walls to get it to cover. That's why we generally try to spray. Obviously we can't down here because there's too much stuff. Make sure the drywall's completely covered and you'll get a good first coat then.
Really nice cherry wood here. And what I'm gonna use this for is to wrap that column right there.
What we're doing here is we've cut this groove in both pieces. And then what Ben's doing is putting in the biscuit and then we join to the other side.
Once this glue hits this biscuit, it'll cause it to swell. So when you join it together, it just boom, becomes one. It's like one piece of wood.
You see the glue squish out here?
Yeah.
That's what you want.
We'll sand it down, work it a bit, and it'll look like it's one.
What I've chosen for the wall is not only a suede color, but I want a sand texture. What it does is gives a nice character on the wall. It helps hide imperfections, and man, does it look good. How much of a grit does it give us?
Like 120 probably. 120 grit sandpaper.
Okay, I like that. So it's fine. It's
pretty
fine.
fine.
You should be able to hit all this today, right?
Absolutely. The walls will be finished today.
All right. Okay, see, I'm feeling good again.
Okay, great. On these walls, we're using a suede paint, and it's actually got sand in the paint and gives it like a rich, elegant look. It's obviously a more tricky product to use. What happens with this product? If you break the wall into sections, you will see lap marks. So what I'm doing is just doing long strokes and rolling out the whole section. With the finishes, like this one, it takes a bit of practice, but what I always do is start in an inconspicuous spot in the room so you can get the feel for the product, do your more obvious walls last, and have a finer finish.
And now I'm gonna do is I'm getting ready to put this cove around the bottom and the top. And then I'm gonna come back 1 inch off of this line because I'm trying to blend that cove that you see here on here, but they'll never meet dead on. So you stop at 1 inch up, and what it does is it gives it a little reveal. If we would have took that past, then you would have seen the gap. It wouldn't have lined up better. But you can see top and bottom, it's gonna look really lovely.
We're just going over it to kind of brush out any imperfections. It's actually the technique that creates the suede effect. We're just doing X's, trying to cover every sectional wall inconsistently, and this is what does the suede. So once it dries down, it's gonna look very nice. With most full finishes, you want to be inconsistent. You don't want to have it look too perfect. So this is a great product to do that with, and it eliminates the patchiness of the wall and actually gives it the suede finish.
Just getting ready to get the steel doors in place for tomorrow. So we want a white jamb, white trim on this side so everything bleeds into this side. White will now enhance the gate look because we get to see it. It just stands right out with the oak trim stained to match the bar. Perfect. It is extremely important that we are level and square on all our jambs, especially when we're going to be putting in steel doors here, and they are designed to fit this opening. There is no room for forgiveness. We will start from the one side. We will make sure we're 100% level here. From this point, we'll work across the top, making sure this is level. If we're level here, and level here, we know we're square. Our gates will slip right in place, screw into the side, and we've done our job right. Scott, Tom, great to see you. This is the exciting part. Oh, look at that. All right, I'm excited. It's D-Day. Good morning, Damon. Frank, today is the last day. We are going to be flying like crazy today. We have a lot to do. We got to get the ceiling tiles in, get the T-bar ceiling up here with the new tiles in. I love the suede look here. I'm just excited. We're gonna have the countertop guys in, getting the countertop in. Both the cabinet people and the slate people are coming in. Frank's just getting the electrical done. They supplied us with a nice ceiling tile to go inside the bar, and I wanted a little different from outside there because this is also a different area on its own. Once these are in place, this rope lighting will give a nice little dim light effect against the ceiling, which gives us the light we need in here. The main light is in this area. Start at this side. Keep your end up, please. Yeah. Okay, and down. Well, we want to be definitely square because the slate has been cut perfectly to go on top of this. Not only that, I mean, let's do this right if we're going to do it. I've just secured the top down. It's nice and strong. We made sure that we did a P-lam front that's black, P-lam underneath. P-lam's like a melamine. It's just the finish that you're going to put on top of it. I don't want to see it. The idea is now the slate will overhang an inch. It just gives it that definition, almost like a step back. Now we're going to put the slate on top of it. See the way it's almost like a tear down and then in? It really helps make it look nice and thick. It's already 100 pounds, but it finishes that edge, and geez, I like that. I think so many people think that slate is not strong enough.
Oh, it's a very strong material.
Yeah, extremely, isn't it?
It's to each their own. People are looking for their specific look, and slate's starting to fill that need very nicely.
So do you glue this down?
We'll be using silicone underneath that, Mike.
Okay.
That sets up fairly quick, and it's a very strong bonding agent. We'll use colored mastic, which is specifically made for slate and granite, to fill up the joints, to seam nice and clean. It's going to be a visible seam, but you want it to be as aesthetically pleasing as possible.
Right.
Then we can take some sandpaper, feather it out if we have to, wipe the counter down, and just a little bit of vegetable oil on to give it a nice matte finish.
Now, speaking of the vegetable oil, I think people are under the assumption that all slate is so porous that it'll grab germs, it'll grab everything. This is not, is it?
No, it's not. This Brazilian stone is less than 1% porosity.
Now that is damn near non-porous.
We don't want to sell a maintenance program. We just want a wash and wear countertop. Just soft soap, warm water.
Now, is it because where you got it from, or is it because you do a finish to it?
Where it comes out of Brazil, it's deeper into the ground. So with Mother Nature compressing that stone, it makes it a very dense material.
Very nice.
So nothing can penetrate into the stone.
There's no point in putting a sealer on because it'll just sit on top, it won't penetrate the stone, and then it'll wipe off over time, so it's really a waste of money.
Dave,
again, Mike.
You're the best. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Keith.
You're welcome, Mike.
We're trying to stay away from any finish nails, just because it's such nice wood, it deserves to be treated the highest it can. I think when you're working with any kind of wood that's in this kind of caliber, if you cannot put nails in it, it's great. Tongue oil, John brought this in. This is my first time using it. But you can see, you know what it does? It's the same thing like when you apply water. It just wakes up the wood and makes it look gorgeous.
First, you're gonna want to put your oil on it and let the wood soak it up.
So it's like a conditioner, right?
That's right, and then once give it a week of soaking it in, and then you come back with your Varathane or your polyurethane and finish it up.
So you just keep doing the oil. You can just do that.
Or you can just keep hand rubbing,
Yeah.
We're just getting the wall molded up so we can get the cross tees back in place. Get the tiles in. We have 2.5 hours left. It's close. Well, we're gonna do it. Good practice is to make sure you touch your tiles since we're not clean-handed. With the backs of your hands, that's always tricky because we have a lot of tie wires in there. Take your time and be able to get it in place. Suspended ceilings were really designed for commercial space. They were introduced into homes strictly to help the basement because when you have so much going on in the ceiling above, you don't want to drywall it. You have to be able to get to it, junction points, vacuuming systems, duct work, I mean, everything. So in this case, now we can dress it up with really nice tile. Just got to get the main tees and cross tees in this section. I'm just over 4 feet of my width, so I'm going to have to do a little trick here to hide it. My tiles don't completely do it, and the last thing I want to do is add a little tiny piece on the end. So as I put my tiles in place, they really have to hold the whole thing, right? So it doesn't catch. We can see it just does, not good enough. So here's the trick. I add another cross tee in the end, cross tee on this side. So I use a few more cross tees, but what it's going to do is solve my problem, keep it centered, and yet now I have no problems putting in a full tile. Bingo. We can now see the rope lighting is giving me effect against the ceiling, and that's all I want is an effect lighting. We know we're getting there, so give me another hour or so. The last thing I want to happen is after we've cleaned up, let's put in the metal, the gate, the footrests, and that gorgeous table over there. You see that wall? This is an incredible table. This is not like the cabinet they thought. You see what I'm looking at by sitting back here looking. You see that? Oh, jeez. You want to do the gates right now?
Yeah, let's put the gates in.
All right, let's do it. Oh, this is awesome. Absolutely awesome. Forever. Let's just look at this for a second. All right. Exactly 3/8. You know what? Looks good. Yeah, I can't argue this. Guys, Tom, thank you so much. Scott, you've completely outdone yourself, I'm telling you. Here it comes. This is.
Oh, I can't get past the doors. Oh, wow.
Oh, it's gorgeous. Oh, look at that.
Oh.
Look at the bar.
Oh,
look at the chairs.
Oh my God.
It's so gorgeous.
I'm speechless.
Well, look over there.
Look at the.
Oh my
Look
God.
at the cabinets.
Holy cow. Whose basement is this?
I kept your suspended ceiling, but I changed your tiles.
Beautiful.
Okay, I really tried to go with a pub look in everything in my imagination. Do you see that wall?
Oh my God. It's a brick wall. I can't believe it. Oh.
Well, come on, let's take a look. Come on.
Look at this.
It's gorgeous.
That is pure cherry wood.
I can't even get. I'm not even past the doors yet.
Oh. So we have a sink on the side. We put your fridge in the bottom here.
Oh my God.
Oh, look at that. It's gorgeous.
I'm really speechless. I just don't know what to say.
We did a little bit of a different ceiling up here with an effect lighting. I have lighting across across the top.
I'm sorry.
I cannot believe what you did, because that's our electrical.
Wow.
Yes, it is, actually.
Oh my God.
We can still get to your electrical, man. What I loved is how they walked in, blew their mind for the gate. They didn't even see the bar behind it. Then I opened the gate, then they saw the bar. Then they saw the brick wall. They were so excited, he was laughing his head off. We did not fake this. This is real brick.
Well, we did see the brick in the front yard,
We
but
so thought it was for the.
I figured I'd have a little brick around the fireplace, not a whole wall.
Now, does this fireplace look better?
Oh my God. This is just too much.
This is crazy.
And look at this table.
Oh, yeah, baby.
So you don't need a full cabinet there.
Oh, that is perfect. That is absolutely perfect.
If you're going to do a basement, to do a bar, to do a bathroom, a kitchen, I don't care what it is, make sure the person you hire has talent behind him. I brought in a bar cabinet specialist, brick specialist. I brought in a painter, a plumber, an electrician, an iron specialist, plus us. And with that talent, we were able to create the pub. You want a pro that can oversee it, handle it, not just with speed, but with care.
I don't even think I've got past the doors yet. I'm still shocked by those.
I love those doors.
He just went all out. Look at this. He has a fabulous talent with metal. You know, not to mention everyone else. Take a look.
I love it so much.
Nick helped us design the bar that we were looking for.
I can lean on this, right?
You can
Even
lean
after a few?
Hell, you can get up and dance on it. All right, you know what? I think it's barrel cloth. Should I go get a couple guys and open up some beer and we'll have a good time here?
Absolutely, Mike. Absolutely.
I'll be right back.
That is awesome, man. Awesome. Guy I'm into. Awesome, man.
In the long run, I'm happy. Jim and Lisa are extremely happy. Gives them something to look forward to. Bring people over and party with, family members, or just the two of them sit down by the fire. It's a happy ending.
We knew something had gone bad.
The contractor that came in decided to do it all without permits.
We just didn't realize how bad.
4 permits: HVAC, electrical, plumbing, structural.
This space was intended to be our new family room and new bedroom suite.
Master bedroom?
Yes.
And then you have contractors knocking on your door that have not been paid by the general contractor.
We had all our doors installed with locks that evening as soon as we knew everything had gone that bad.
Ron phoned the police.
And they were arrested.
Hallelujah. Mike Holmes. Look at this. Is that garbage or what? Look, you buggers, they haven't vented anything. This is ridiculous. Everything is wrong. I've decided now to gut it. Take it all down.
Mike Holmes, I love you.
Me too. You want a good job to keep me in shape? I'll be a contractor. Unacceptable. God, I love my job.
Well, we actually lived around the corner in another house, and quite by accident, we found out about this house being for sale, and we came to look at it and fell in love with the backyard. And so we bought it, and within a year or two, we started experiencing some water problems on this main roof, which is now the floor in this addition. It turned out that we had to take the roof structure off, and rather than just rebuild an existing roof above the bungalow, we decided to do an addition at that time, and that's how this all started.
Ron and Jill started this addition over a leak, but they're looking at major roof repairs, and you know what? Let's put out a little money and change the home. Great idea. Ron, Jill, how are you today?
Great to
nice to see you again.
Great to you.
So this is the only part they actually put a foundation in?
Correct.
Okay, that's a good start. This is existing?
Correct.
And second floor was the idea, right?
Correct.
Okay.
And then below here as well was a new basement bedroom.
Okay.
The engineer report talked about having to have some kind of a reinforcing beam across here for cross force from wind pressure.
I'll talk to the engineer. I'll look at a report on that because I don't think that's going to sway, but it depends on how this was done. So we'll take a look at that. The idea is open concept through to the kitchen here?
Yes. The kitchen was damaged. Like we had to replace all the appliances except for the fridge and the dishwasher. And we had to replace all the countertops.
Why was it damaged?
Water.
And
they opened the roof?
Yeah, they didn't protect against
And it caved in. We came home to find the carpets drenched, the hardwood floor starting to buckle, Ceilings had caved. It was an absolute mess. And they kept assuring us, don't worry, just give me the bills and go replace everything. And at that point, they're also asking for the next check. And I said, but this is so far behind schedule. And everybody's saying, but the windows have been paid for, the doors have been paid for, we have to pay them. And in retrospect, nothing had been paid for.
Did you get a permit on this?
We applied for the permit ourselves, and they were telling us through the project that it was coming, that the city knew exactly what they were doing, and yet they weren't getting inspection done on the various stages.
You had no idea?
We had no idea.
There was no permit?
There was no permit issued.
What happened over that?
We finally did get it issued, but only after the whole project went bad.
Well, it's almost done. That's a big problem.
Yeah.
No inspection?
No inspection. The only inspection that was done was the electrical.
Okay. They were working during the day. Here's the contractor telling the homeowner, oh, we have an inspection today, but they're not home. You know, so it just really started with lie after lie after lie. And by the time the place is almost done, and unfortunately not correct, the permits were still not issued. Not good. The footings were not inspected. The foundation walls were not inspected. All the structure, insulation, vapor barrier, plumbing was not inspected. Do you want the government knocking on your door saying, hey, hello, we didn't inspect this?
We knew something had gone bad.
Yeah,
we just didn't realize how bad.
Because all along we thought, maybe it's not being managed that well, but we never suspected that there was financial foul play, basically.
Ron and Jill really trusted the guy. They believed in him. They continued to pay him. They're not even going to think he's not paying his contractors.
We had the window guys showing up in our driveway, asking if we liked the windows, and yes, we do. Well, we haven't been paid a dime. This space was intended to be our new family room.
Okay.
The area in this corner here was to be the new wet bar area, and then this is to be our new bedroom suite.
Master bedroom?
Yeah.
Walk-in closet, very nice.
That's the master bathroom.
Oh, I like this. This is nice. Shower stall.
Nope, that's the toilet and bidet.
Yes. So toilet, bidet with door, tub.
Yes.
Obviously a big one, 6-footer.
Yeah,
Yes.
6 foot.
Okay, and what do we have here?
That's the intended to be the sauna in that corner.
Okay, and we have drywall in there only, and that's not a great idea.
And then shower in the corner.
Oh, nice. Nice layout. I like it. Who designed it? You?
Well, I mean, it was my initial design tweaked a little bit by the architect.
Based on structure, based
Yes.
on plumbing run. Okay,
Yeah.
everything, you know what, looks half decent. I'm gonna have to bring in inspectors. We're gonna have to open up everything they're gonna wanna see, because that's what I'd wanna see. Make sure the structure's fine, the plumbing's fine. And we got one hell of a job to close this in. What did this cost you?
The original contract was with tax $175,000, and then extras that were incurred in addition to that were about $25,000 to $30,000.
That's not a bad price. That's around an average price for what I see, so it's not overpriced. Now, I heard that this contractor was arrested.
Yes.
We spoke to a police officer. She says, oh, no, you don't need us. This sounds like it's civil. And I said, the fact that they can go and work somewhere else and do it to somebody else, you've got to be kidding. This isn't just civil. And we ended up with the head of the fraud squad for that division, and basically said, I'm sorry, this happens all the time. There's not much we can do about it. And I said, somebody can come in, destroy your home, make it uninhabitable, and they have full rights to go do this to somebody else? Because he thought it was just the addition, but it was the fact that they destroyed the house, plus taking the money that he said, whoa, back up and let's start again.
The police came in, and I'm telling you, I want to meet this police officer. I want to shake his hand, because he went right after the contractor. He arrested him with fraud, and he was brought to the police station. Hallelujah.
Fraud is a 6-week procedure, generally speaking. He says, I'm going to fast track this. Personally, myself, I'm taking it downtown. They were charged in 3.5 days.
Well, it's about time. It's about time. You know, if people run away with your money, cause you nothing but a world of pain, and they got sung for it.
Unfortunately, the Crown dropped or withdrew the charges.
Let me guess, because they came in and did something.
You got it.
What is wrong with this picture?
The one good thing is that even though the Crown attorney withdrew the case, the Ministry of Consumer and Business Services is going after them.
Now that I'd like to hear. You know, I believe you get what you get. And you know what? When you do this to families, you deserve to go to jail.
Well, that was why we did this, because we don't expect to see any money as a result, but if we don't do something, then they may do this to somebody else.
I think I've heard enough. Let me take over this nightmare. We're gonna make sure that when you move in here, you're not gonna have to worry about anything to do with the house. You walk away, and I'm gonna bring you back.
We really appreciate it.
It's my job.
Thank God.
If the roof had been fine, we would have lived with the house the way it was, but it became the catalyst for just balancing the look of the house and giving us our green master suite and bedroom and bathroom and all of that.
Hey guys.
Hey, Homely, what's up? What do you
See
got here?
something? Oh man, this is a different
We're
story.
scared to go inside.
It's quite a big job. Hasn't been inspected, which is not a surprise. It's what we're used to. Let's go upstairs, take a look there, and then we'll go over a ton of things we have to do. It's actually quite a nice layout. Object today is really to open up certain areas, so when we bring in the engineer, we get an okay on what we have to do to restructure a few issues, the front window, the structure support under the front porch. But I want to start with going to get some plastic, cleaning up, and we'll start picking areas and taking them down. Looks like we're gonna have to restructure this deck. There's no bolts. It was required to have bolts within your 4x4s into the main rim plate. None have nailed it. This is gonna be a huge frickin' can of worms. I'm not kidding you. None of the plumbing's been passed. I don't know what they've done. Here's a great example of stupidity. Look at this. This is a vent line right here. Actual drainage, which means it goes right down. And when I say vent, it's because now it'll breathe all the methane gases into the house. We'll get some insulation in there, stop the gases. I'm surprised it doesn't stink in here. Got another one over there. Methane gas doesn't smell good, but you get enough in the house, you can blow the place up. Good plumbing practices. Cap it. Morning. Robert, nice to meet you.
Structural engineer, right?
Yeah. Excellent. Maybe you can help me understand. I'm looking at a 14-foot span. We still have sway effect?
I believe we do.
So it's not continuous vertically.
And the horizontal beam is bending on its weak axis. It's out of plane. It's not, if they laid them horizontal and stacked them up, it would take the wind load in that direction. But because they're standing up this way, it's like when you walk on one, when it's on its flat, it just wants to sag. It's got no strength.
We have a few options. We can box it in, do a bulk around it and create an effect.
And then we just need to make sure it's connected to the wood at either end to take the load.
For the basement, we know we have an issue there, so we'll drop the ceiling there. Look at the 2x10s, and maybe we can get some, lintel L brackets, bolt them through.
Sure.
Help carry the load from one side to the other.
Sure.
And how did they support that? Good. And we can see that the 2x10s are out over the block, which is good. We'll put in 2 L brackets, bolt them through, and put in 2 jack posts on the end and just spot weld the joints. So do me a favor. Let's lose the bulkhead and this drywall.
Okay.
Looking good. Rob.
Nice to meet you, Mike.
Nice to meet you.
Thanks for good work.
Thanks for your time, eh? We got to get 2 laminated, one side to the other. We use the joist hanger on that side.
Right.
It's going to come right across against that beam, so the back of the 2x8s go in and join. We'll toe screw it, bring it right across. 2 tie in for structure. The third one is going to be just for appearance, to make a bulkhead. We're going to try and match the look with the other side where we have 8 inches sticking out. We're going to have 8 inches sticking out here, and it'll work. It'll give us a really nice look, and what that does is ties into that beam like this and keeps that beam from going like this.
Well, we're trying to stabilize this wall. That's what
right.
we do.
Okay. So you understand exactly what I'm saying? Let me go deal with Rob. You get right on this?
Yeah, for sure.
Thank you. Rob, nice to see you again.
See you.
Well, this one's not too bad.
We're gonna have to remove the trough at first look. The soffit we can probably keep.
Okay.
Okay.
And if you can concentrate on the front first, just in case of rain, because this area here just floods like crazy down on the electrical. They've already had it short out once.
I've noticed that. Definitely got to go to large pipes, a 3x4 instead of a regulation 2x3.
Okay.
We want to go oversized.
Good.
Because all the water, from what I see in the lay of the land here, is going to be draining over there.
Right.
And we don't want a pipe coming anywhere near this.
No. I think that was their idea, was to keep it away from the front of the house for eye candy.
Around the corner, I noticed there's, you've got a drain here that we can hook up into. We'll just go to larger pipes instead of the small.
Okay.
And we'll get a good flow in the trough.
Is your idea to come from that corner all the way down and have the water come all the way to here?
Yeah.
Good. So we'll take it and divert it to both sides of the house.
Yeah.
Okay, let's do it.
There you go.
Thanks, pal.
Okay.
Hey, Mike.
Dan, how you doing today?
Good, how's it going?
Not so bad. I'm just checking to make sure the tub's gonna fit here. I don't think we're gonna have an issue there. Now the shower's an issue. We have one shower head on the roof. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 here. Now we have to think about PSI. Pounds per square inch. If we have the equivalent of 50 psi of water coming in, a 2-inch floor drain will not be enough to accept that. So by code, if you have 50 psi, we need 2 floor drains. So I guess what we have to determine for the drain is to check our psi on the hot and cold. We're reading the cold coming in.
Right, we'll check the pressure at the main and see what we have. Usually they need about 50 psi to run one of those showers with more than 3 or 4 heads.
What if we don't have 50 psi?
Well, we might have to put in a booster pump.
So the first thing to do is find out the psi that comes into the house, and then we'll determine what to do with the plumbing and the drain.
Exactly. Well, we just shut the main water off. I'm going to drain the system, and I'm going to put a gauge on the main line coming in, which is this one here. And we're going to see what kind of pressure we have. My guess, maybe 40. My father always told me that when you're soldering, 80% of it is preparation. Some sandcloth or grit cloth does one of 2 things. 1, it cleans the pipe, and 2, it puts a little groove in it so that when you are hitting the solder on it, it wraps up and it loops up in a groove and makes the joint more tight. And then you clean the fitting inside too. And you put some flux on it. It's acid. It cleans the pipe even further, and it makes the solder wrap around the pipe. Put that on. If you hold the heat on one side and the solder on the other, when you touch it, it should wrap around to the heat. Solder always draws to the heat. I think we're gonna see maybe 30, 40 pounds per square inch. 50's ideal, 50's perfect. You don't get anybody complaining with 50 on the showers. So we're gonna turn it on now and see what we got. Holy
82 pounds?
Yeah, we're good at the meeting.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That's got to be the highest I've ever seen.
Yeah.
So we have to put in second drain.
Yeah, definitely.
Not an issue.
No.
Good stuff. Good stuff.
Yeah.
Jeez, okay. I'm not only pulling this down for myself just to make sure everything's right, I have to pull it down for the inspectors to see. Remember, no plumbing's been passed, no HVAC has been passed. They're going to want to see it. Heating looks good. At this point, what I see looks good. Electrical looks good. We can tell the guys know what they're doing. I like to see that extra coil of wire coming in case they need to pull more wire in, so it gives us slack. Everything looks proper within the box. Now, obviously, the electricians, we're pros. Now let's go meet the inspectors. Nice to see you. Nice to see you again. Thanks for coming by. We're starting to open up things, and we're seeing a few things. Nothing serious. You want to take a look?
Yeah, sure. They created this post and beam structure on the inside, but is that post continuous to the basement level?
I'll do a notch in the floor to see what we do see. So what I'm looking for is that we have continuous load. This beam now is carrying the upper header. I want to see it continuous over this wall here. If we have a structure coming up and then it juts out and goes up again, which in this case we have, that has to be carried. This really should have been doubled up to help carry this load because it's on the outside of the existing structured wall downstairs. It's not right over it. In this room here, we're going to do the same thing. Here's a great example here. We know that the heat register is within the floor joists, okay? You see that this one is obviously not over top of the wall. That's gonna be an issue. So let's open both of these. There's 2 reasons I'm moving. Number 1, we are not structured on the existing structure. We're overhanging, unacceptable. This here is carried on 1.5 inches here and 1/2 inch on the other side. So for that reason alone, the structure is incorrect. The second reason I'm moving them is because this weight load happens to be directly over the 6-foot sliding door downstairs, which was not structured for this weight load. So now if I bring it outside of it and carry it with continuous wall, I win. So what we've done was taken out the outside plate, brought in 4-foot pieces, glued them, nailed them, just like the engineer wants. Now we're gonna move the columns onto this point. Before we do that, we have to resheet the floor. We're going to use 4 laminated 2x8s because the engineer wants me to build out 1 more beam based on weight load. It's 12 foot of span from this structure to the other structure, the new one we're putting in, to build it out to 5 wide. No big deal. What I'm going to do is add a 2x10 to the front. And I want to make sure I'm flush here so I don't have to build it out later. Now, if you looked at what I've done here, you'll notice that I don't have a bottom plate underneath my wood. Now, why do we want a bottom plate under wood, period? The idea is to displace the weight load with your vertical studs. I have 4 beams under this piece of plywood. I don't need to displace anything, so I'm going to lock it right in place and hit it directly in. But on any vertical wall, you have to have a bottom plate and 2 top plates if it's load-bearing. When you're laminating the beams, you want to be every 16 inches, at least 3 screws, holds it nice and tight, turns it into one piece of wood. Probably wouldn't hurt to add a little glue. Makes a big difference. Joel, how are you, buddy?
Okay, yourself?
Nice to see you again. Simple job. Is this light okay for here?
That light is fine. The only thing we need to put there is a trim that would be tight, meaning no water can...
So I can use the box.
Yep.
It's just a watertight trim.
That's it.
Okay, now this I think is an issue here, this switch.
Yeah, that is, that's not to code.
Because I can...
Yeah, you should be 1 meter away if you're standing in water.
Okay, well, can we move this over here and gang it up with this one?
Well, we'll measure it off. As long as we're 1 meter away, we can gang it up.
Now, supposedly all this has been passed.
Okay.
Take a look around, see what you see, okay?
Okay.
Thanks, buddy.
No problem.
All right.
What we're going to do here is, you can see this railing. Obviously, you can see they didn't do a very good job. It's really wobbly. So we try to find out the best solution to make it strong. And what we came up with is take this 4x4 here. We got a little notch down here. And we're going to stick it down into this little slot that we've notched down. And then from underneath, Des is going to bolt it through. We're going to take 10-inch carriage bolts, bolt it through, and then screw this into here so that each one of these 4x4s you see along here strengthens it.
Gerhard.
Mike.
Nice to see you, buddy.
Nice to see you
How
again.
you been?
Eh? I've been good, thanks.
Yeah? I'm
feeling good. Now you've got quite an interesting corner here, huh?
Yeah, right over hydro. We had a big problem with that, as a matter of fact. Because they left it open, we had just finished the fascia soffit, east trough, and downspouts, but hopefully you can make that look wonderful. This all should have been done first, and then the new meter.
Absolutely. Yeah, and I see they've just purged directly over top of the existing painted wall.
Well, that's a mistake. We want, like, adhesive.
Yes, absolutely. And you can see here where they've used the material, it just comes right off, eh? So what we're going to have to do is scrape that material off. I'll hammer this stuff off to get it back to the surface, and then we'll do a clean repurge all the way from top to bottom.
Okay.
We'll make it right.
Oh, that's what I want to hear. So anything you need, just call me.
You got it.
Thanks, Gary.
All right. Cement it right over tar. Scraping off all this stuff that's been improperly applied. As we put anything on top of it, it's just going to come off with it. So all of this whole corner has got to all be scraped clean.
The way they pipe this shower, the 2 supplies coming up going into the valve, and then it comes up into a diverter. What a diverter does is you can turn it this way and it will make your 6 jets function. You can turn it this way and it will make your shower head at the top here function. Now they have 1 feed going to these 6 heads, but the water's going to come along and it's going to go down here and come out, a lot of pressure, come up here, a lot of pressure, and it's going to come up here and not as much pressure as these 2. So I'm going to do a loop system. I'm going to take another feed off this pipe, drill a hole through it, and tee it back in. So that way you'll always have water flowing through the system. Equal pressure to all heads. This is how you burn something. You put it in first and then you solder, and this is how you not burn anything. Pre-soldered that on the ground and then I put it in. Now these I might have a little bit of problem with, but you try your best not to make any black marks on the drywall and burn the house down. That's why torches are bent like that, so that you could go around the pipe and you're not gonna burn the wall like that. I mean, every plumber's torch is bent. I don't know how the guys are just sitting there like this, just burning the wall. Anyway. So we did okay, we didn't burn the wall. I'm just gonna cut a shower head in now. I'm gonna lower this, on the main floor in the basement, it's nice to have the shower head coming up down on you. But when you're up in the attic here now, the cold so we're just gonna cut it in over here and bring it out. Give the same effect, it'll be nice and high.
Okay, well I couldn't use a pre-wrap here between the door frame and the window because the space is too narrow. And the pre-wraps, what happens is if you cut them down the middle and you try to screw in on top of them, they all buckle up. And then your corners pull out and you get this waviness on the edge. So I've just wrapped it myself. you have to make sure you get your edges properly wrapped so that they're nice and square and strong. It's the good old-fashioned way, that's right. Takes a long time, though. They went to pre-wrap for two reasons. One is that a lot of guys were cutting corners, so to speak, and they weren't wrapping properly all the way behind. So you get moisture in there, and then the whole thing lifts off, right? And plus, the reason they don't do it is because it takes a long time. You got to wrap the back of the panel, the edge of the panel, the top of the panel. You got to stretch it tight, and you got to coat it out. So when they manufacture the pre-wraps now, you get nice long straight edges. They go on really quick, and you eliminate that problem of bad edges. If you were not to do it, then, you know, within a number of years, this stuff would just start popping back.
Good, and we got to make sure we mesh everything, yeah? I can see it.
Everything's got to be coated in mesh and a good parge coat. Then we do the finish coat.
How long do you think?
Well, it'll take me a day to parge it out and then a day for the finish coat. So 2 days, we're done.
Well, it's looking good, Gerhard.
Thank you.
Really happy to have you back. Thanks, buddy.
All right.
Okay. Keep up the good work.
Thank you.
So now, what we have here is we have our feed coming here, and it's going to split up. It's equal here, tees off, comes up into this line, and it tees off this way and comes into this line. So we have 2 feeds going to these 6 jets. So it's all equal now. So now you'll get the exact same pressure to each end, the way it should have been done.
We ended up with the head of the fraud squad for that division.
Fraudsters, like any other criminal organization,
He said, I'm sorry, this happens all the time.
they're going to find ways to circumvent the system.
And they have full rights to go do this to somebody else.
We, as the public, have to be on our guard.
You know, it's funny. This all started from needing a new roof. All right, maybe we should do more. Maybe it's now time to do an addition. One thing leads to another. $200,000 later, there's a beautiful addition on here that's never been passed, and we have problems. Gerhard. Hi, how you doing? Good, man. It's looking good. Use your imagination. Go ahead and make changes, but hire the right guys. I hear you've had a bit of a problem with this, it being so out of whack, which doesn't surprise me.
Yeah, a lot of dissimilar surfaces. In order to get it nice and flush, we just had to use extra material, but we're just about there.
Oh, it's looking good. I know I brought in the right guy.
All right.
Keep it up.
Okay.
Let's go take a look on the inside. If you don't hire the right guys, I can't come to everybody's home and help them. What the hell am I going to do here?
Toronto Police Fraud Squad, working out of headquarters, contains quite a large number of different officers within different fields. We have a corporate section, we have a credit card and a gang section, we have a section that deal with the welfare frauds, and we have a section that deals with frauds against seniors, including home renovation scams.
This fraud thing, you know, he gets charged with fraud. Great. The cop, I loved it. He felt for the family, charges him with fraud. About time somebody stands up and gives somebody a kick in the ass. However, he gets off. It's not going to stand in court. By the time it gets to the prosecutor says, did he do any work on the house? The answer is yes. And because he's done work on the house, it's not fraud. It's now a civil matter. Man, you guys are flying.
If an individual approaches you or you request a service from an individual and you pay that individual for the service, but he doesn't provide any of that service, he's committed a criminal offense, fraud. However, if the individual is paid for a service, he provides some or all of that service, however, it may not be up to what you believe to be what was promised, it's become a civil litigation.
So hire a lawyer, go after him. What's he gonna do? He's gonna go bankrupt, he's gonna open up a new business the next day, and everybody loses but him.
We finally heard through the detective that had initially dealt with us that the Crown had opted to drop the charges. We fell through the floor again.
Paper barrier up?
Yeah, we're just finishing up here, Mike.
If I was a homeowner and I feel that I may have been taken, the first thing I would do is contact my local police service. Speak to them about it, have all of my documents ready. From there, depending on what happens, I would speak to my municipality. There are building inspectors within every municipality. There are bylaw officers within every municipality. The third step would be to contact the Ministry of Consumer and Business Services, which is a provincial government branch that have specific sections set out for offenses committed by these home renovators.
The Ministry of Consumer and Business Services is responsible for some 30 consumer protection statutes in the province
province of Ontario.
We're gonna have to lose all this concrete board in that tub area, and hopefully we can preserve it, that we don't throw it in the dump.
Yeah,
and use it in here.
So we receive about 77,000 consumer complaints a year. We commission investigations, conduct prosecutions, and in most cases we're successful in either getting restitution for consumers or getting a good, strong deterrent in the court.
The detective in particular will do anything he can in support of this new action based on a recommendation from Mike going to the Ministry of Consumer and Business Services. We've met with an investigator twice. She's met with the police. She's talking to some of the sub-trades already, and it appears that they are pursuing them. And so the police detective has indicated that he will do anything he can in support of this other action.
In many cases, we will work with the police. A fraud investigation, you have to prove the business really went in with a clear intent to defraud the consumer. Consumer protection legislation, you really look at if there is evidence of misrepresentation, if there's evidence of undue pressure, things of that nature, then there may be grounds for an investigation or an offense under the consumer law.
And again, not that we're looking that this would be any way to get monies back, but at least not to let these guys off scot-free.
The fines and deterrents can be very significant, up to 2 years in jail, up to $250,000 in fines.
We'll re-insulate this, vapor barrier, get the drywall up on this today as well, start the plastering.
I would like to just say a little story. The words of a 7-year-old. She says, I hear you need 100 to finish the job. Why don't you take it out of my bank account? I said, honey, not $100, 100,000. She says, well, how much is that? I said, about 1 million more pennies than you have. And she said, why don't you and Daddy just pay it? I said, honey, we don't have the money. If we do, we'll be bankrupt. Well, what's bankrupt? I said, that's when you lose everything. Well, that'd be okay. I said, it would? She says, Mommy, you'd still have us. And literally, that's what it boils down to.
Are they heavy?
Yeah. Well, they're about 300 a piece.
Moves your truck a bit, eh?
Yeah, no, there's weight there.
Today, we are going to get that beam done so we can get it closed in. Nice day. Not bad for fall. Oh, they've been busy. Gerhardt's got the stucco done. I like it. Looks good. It's funny, we're adding weight to a beam. Go figure.
Watch your back.
Idea is to laminate the metal to the side of the beam, bolt it through, carry the loads on each end, and what it does is makes this one rigid beam. Now on this end, we really have no issue whatsoever. We've cleared the area to get our steel beam in on both sides, bolted through, and we'll carry the load with 2 jack posts down to the bottom plate. This end's a headache because not only do we have a ton of electrical in the area, we also have communication cables. So this is going to be a little bit of a pain because we've got to cut out everything. The door, the structure here, all this that is holding the form up there, which they could have left it in place at the time. Now we've got to cut it out of the way. So it's going to take us probably 4 hours to do this work that should have been done in the first place. Because everything was closed up, you know, we had to open up and check all structure points for the building inspectors. This is 4 2x10s. Maybe if it was 5, they might have accepted, I don't know. But this is 4, so it's not enough. Swinging it back, guys. Hold it there, okay? You get up and start coming back. There's no other way to fix this without pulling out the beam, putting in a steel I-beam or something stronger than this.
That's not the weight down. As soon as you get that on there, you get the weight down.
4 2x10s based on the span, it's not enough to hold not only the concrete pad, this is the front door upstairs, but it's also structuring the whole floor above. So we've got to pick up that load and make it a much stronger beam. Just a little more, bench. Whoa, right there. Okay, go. Try to be as straight as possible. Yeah. For us to come in here, buy this steel, have it custom made to fix this one problem, open all this up and do all this work and then close it all back up again, you're in the area of about $6,000 repair for this one area. Not to mention the rest of the house. We put in a piece of steel that's been fabricated and welded. It's almost impossible for it to bend and weight load. We have another one on the other side, bolted. It's gotta be 10 times stronger than the wood beam itself. I suppose that's what they're looking for.
Yeah, you can come over here right now, Mike. This screw's lined up.
Okay. Let's get a nut and washer on that right away. As soon as you're done that, we can get the other ladder over here and work on this. Quite a bit. Oh. Ooh, that's good. And then we're gonna have to bring in a welder. We'll put in 2 jack posts within the wall with a steel plate right across from one side to the other. 1 jack post here, 1 jack post here. We'll support it, same as on that side. Restructure, close it. I love my job. That's not gonna fall down. How you doing today, Mike?
Very well, Mike.
Nice to see you. So we're getting ready to do the sauna?
Yes, we are.
Excellent. Is everything fine? You need anything done at all?
No, we're roughed in fine.
So if you need anything, just let me know.
We want the sensor bulb to be located at the ceiling about 3 or 4 feet away from the sauna heater. The sensor bulb goes back to the thermostat, which will sense temperature in the sauna. As the house thermostat will cycle on and off to maintain the appropriate temperature. We'll also have a 60-minute timer, so the sauna cycles off automatically within 1 hour. And it applies to most jurisdictions. The foil is here for added insulation value. It reflects heat back into the sauna. We don't tape or goop the seams because we want the sauna to breathe.
Does this also help stop moisture from escaping from the sauna?
It's a bit of a misnomer. There's very little moisture in the sauna. We're basically baking the air inside. Splash the rocks, you get a blast humidity, gone within seconds.
Okay, so it's really, that's it. It's for the heat. Keep it within the room, make it a hot room.
Exactly. So we're going to start working on the walls, making sure we keep it level as we go up. We check level every 4 or 5 rows just to make sure the what's going up straight, square, and true. We only use tongue and groove cedar, so that one board slides over the next. We nail into the tongue, which is then hidden by the following groove. It's called blind nailing. No nails show in the finished product. Nice, clean, attractive appearance.
Vlad is using a respirator to protect himself from breathing in particles, dust, fiberglass from the insulation. I think it's a good precaution to take if you have any lung or throat sensitivities. I'll tell you guys, you should change the name of your company there to Sauna in a Day, because I'm impressed, Mike. Vlad, I'm totally impressed.
Thank you.
And I get that smell of cedar. What kind of heat will this give off? Probably enough to really make this hot in here, right?
Yeah, the thermostat setting is up to 90 Celsius, but 194 Fahrenheit. That'll do the trick.
Well, good job, Mike. Keep up the good work.
Thanks, Mike.
Okay. You been busy, Frank?
Yeah, very busy lately.
Will you still nail that, or you won't need to?
No, we won't need to. Just the compression with the glue, hold it.
What will you do afterwards? Just go across and just straighten any of these if you have to? Is that the idea?
If they need to be, they should be straight. When I'm pounding it into the handrail, I usually
You're good
line
at it.
them up,
Yeah.
and you can, as you're tapping them in, you can twist them at that point.
Just plug that and chisel it off.
Yep.
That's very good. I'll let you at it.
Okay.
Thanks, buddy.
No problem.
It takes 3 coats of Varathane. Not much of a secret to it. It's pretty foolproof. So the first one, you just have to make it look wet. After each coat, it's gonna get a light sanding. So it's pretty foolproof, and it's gonna feel like glass. What happens is the grain of the wood is raised after the first coat. So you rub your handle on it, it's very rough. So the first coat is most important. You're gonna sand all the grain back down and make it quite smooth. So the second and third coat are very thin, just to add protection to the wood.
These acrylic tubs, when you get them in place, sometimes those squeakings in the tubs. That's what happens with these fiberglass ones. So our experience is, if you just take the edges like this here and glue the edges down, it takes the squeak right out of it. Well, right now Dan's getting ready to rough in all the plumbing underneath. And once he gets in there working on it, we don't want the tub to move around. We want it to stay in place. So these are just temporary brackets. Tomorrow we'll take it off and the tub's in there secure. Dan will hook up the plumbing right now. And we'll fire up a test, make sure there's no leaks and motor's running and whatnot. Especially while the plumber and electrician's still there.
We're gonna turn the water back on and then test the tub. We'll let it run for 20 minutes, half an hour, make sure the factory didn't make a mistake.
See, look at there. See there? It's perfect.
Well, nice to see we're tiling in front here, Stan.
Yeah, it's coming in now.
Excellent. They're gonna love this. We're gonna put down slates throughout the whole front foyer, stagger the tiles. We're staggering, right, Stan?
Yes, we are.
Excellent. Oh, this is gonna be good.
I'm scratch coating the back of the tile because it'll give us a better bond when we're pushing it down on the floor, because the back of the slate tile is a smooth surface. It's particularly important to scratch coat a smooth tile, any smooth tile on the back. It's not like a porcelain or a ceramic. You have to comb the back of the surface because it's too smooth for the cement to grab and it won't bond properly.
And the guys in all weekend, plastering, sanding, prepping for Craig today. Speaking of Craig.
Second coat.
Second coat of slate. Looking really good. I guess the idea is to get it on the wood first, so when you do paint, in case you hit the wood, it wipe straight off.
Definitely.
That's why you're here, Craig. Excellent.
Okay.
Thanks, buddy.
No problem, Mike. Yep.
Holy cow, look at this place. We've already put a coat of paint out here. These guys are flying like crazy. Here's Craig's guys here. Looking good. Well, it's officially winter. Have we really been here for 6 weeks? Just a few more days to go. Yeah, we're gonna have some touch-ups. I can see it. That's okay. Get it primed now so we can see it, do the touch-ups. We have the concrete board done inside, the waterproof membrane up on the walls. That's great. The countertop's got to go in. We're in a little bit of a rush, but everybody's in the right mood, you know? You know, I'll tell you, walking into this job has been nothing but a pain. And why has it been a pain? Imagine coming into a job that's really 85% done, that's never been inspected. So where do you start? You start by investigating, start taking things down, make sure the plumbing's right, make sure the electrical's right, take a look at the structure. And bit by bit, until you've solved all the problems that's hidden beneath everything, you start to close it back up again. And it's taken a while. It's been a lot of progress. We've had a lot of help from the government coming in here and really spending their time with us, as well as engineers, as well as professionals that we brought in. It really makes a difference to have everyone on your side. I feel sorry for a contractor that doesn't have that ability because this would take forever, you know, and they would never get back home. They've already been out of here for over a year now, and I think that's ridiculous. So we're gonna do our damnedest to get this done ASAP now that we fixed all the problems, get them home. $2,200 square feet of oak floors, 2,000 square feet of foam and stucco, 700 square feet of slate tile, 900 linear feet of baseboard and casing, 98 gallons of paint, 100 spindles, with another 150 linear feet of oak rail. This is no small job. Well, we were here till late last night. Tiling off the bathroom was the biggest part of this that had to be finished. It is a madhouse today, there's no doubt about it. We have a lot of people in here today, painters, plumbers, electricians, my guys. It's a mess, but I'm not worried about the mess yet because this will be done. The object is to work our way down. How you doing, Benj? Good, Mike. So you're on top of the doors, casing, door handles. Dan's just getting the plumbing. He's trying to save some time, getting the fixtures all ready to be put in place. We're getting the doors and trim installed. We have the painters in here, Craig and his wonderful guys. You know, the colors work. They're not so bad at all. They work. Countertops in, cabinets in. We did a reveal. I like it. It works. Shower tiles, tub tiles are done. This works for me.
Yeah, no, we're gonna do it. There's a lot to do, but you know, this is a big job. It's not like you just drop these in. You can see what I'm doing. Look at all the shims. You know, you need a 6-foot level, so make sure your jam's nice and straight.
Are you level?
We're getting there. That's what we were just talking about. These fast fit doors. Mike's got the sharp eye. He's got a built-in laser level in his eye. Puts the evil eye on everything when he comes in and inspects the work, eh? Oh, you level? Oh, okay, all right. Of course, you gotta keep the handy level straight right by, close, so you can show him. Oh, okay, must be the wall.
So the idea is to continue up the mold. We have a nice molding edge here, but since we don't have it anywhere else, the idea is to stagger that back approximately a ½ an inch. So now we'll have another chrome molding that comes up, one tile up, really just underneath that window all the way around, which really highlights the tub, highlights the area. I still got to paint out that window. Okay, we have the time. We're doing good. I'm more concerned with the tiles right now than anything, so I want these guys to go at it. We're feeling good. I mean, look at it. It's looking great. All we're gonna do is just really start cleaning up. We've done a lot of touch-ups today, but it's coming together. It's looking like it's supposed to. I like it.
Holy smokes.
Well, this is just the beginning. We've done a lot of work in here. We've had a lot of people. You like your slate tile?
Yeah. Yeah.
You like that?
Yes.
You ready to come home?
Oh, I've been more than ready.
Does it look a little different at this point?
Yes. There's a floor. Haven't had a floor for a year and a half.
Yeah, and there's some stairs and rails and spigots.
Oh my goodness, rails. Oh yeah, that was barred up.
We had a major structure point to fix it here. As far as I was concerned, that was kid stuff compared to the rest of the house that we had to do.
Oh, is that the beam that was...
Oh, yeah, it's a beam we put in there, which really stops this wind resistance is the idea. And we've kept with the colors you've liked. I mean, when you stand here and you look up.
It looks like a dollhouse.
You ready to go upstairs?
Oh, yeah.
Let's go upstairs.
Stairs. Oh my goodness.
It's pretty big, doesn't it?
It's humongous. It's not, it totally looks different. Like,
It is a ballroom. Now we had a second structure pointed here. We had a weight load over the door downstairs and a weight load in your bedroom over the window. This whole wall was removed, restructured, put back again.
oh my God.
As well as the ceiling downstairs in the foyer, we dropped that. We had to open up everything for the plumbing route, everything for structure, just to inspect or make sure everything was right. I love that little catwalk. That's nice, eh?
Yeah. Oh, it totally looks just, yeah.
I think she's dumbfounded.
Well, when you see it with the boards just piled up for so long, you just gotta get used to it that you just don't ever think
Does there ever be
it's
a
ever
second
going
floor
to
with
be.
plywood?
Yeah.
Let's go look at your bedroom. And your huge closet is right there. And it is nice. Let's take a look.
Oh.
That's
This is
probably
the size of a bedroom I
It's the size
grew
of a
up in.
Yeah, it is. You want to see your bathroom?
Oh, bathroom. Ah, I forgot even have a bathroom.
Yeah.
For the year and a half. Whoa.
Whoa. Oh,
That's gorgeous.
this is gorgeous.
So we were able to keep your toilet and bidet on this side. Just take a look. Brought in your granite guys to set up the cabinets and everything else, and a couple of mirrors.
Nice. Very nice.
Not bad, eh?
This is gorgeous. Oh, great. Fabulous.
And we brought in a sauna specialist.
Ah, it's done. I didn't think it
Oh,
was
it's
gonna
done. It's done.
get... Oh my gosh. Ah.
Holy smokes.
Oh, I'll just sit in here and sniff.
Doesn't that smell nice? I'd love to see your smell. And of course, we used slate, and we carried it in your shower stall. So let's take a look at your shower stall.
Wow. Goodness. Oh.
Beautiful. Holy
smokes. This is gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous.
You okay?
Oh, I'm okay.
You have to be part of your job. It's your home. We want to trust people, but we have to start taking care of it ourselves. Phone the government. Don't be afraid to call them. They're on your side.
Do I get to give him the hug now?
Yeah.
Hang on.
I got the full. Never allow the job to be started until the permits are in the window. When the permits are in the window, that means you have permits for the job. Ask to see the signature on the back of the permit, which says the inspector has been in and passed it. Better yet, be there when the inspection is supposed to take place. Talk to the inspectors yourself to find out when it is necessary to call them in, so you as a homeowner know this. Extremely important. Hello.
You ready to come home?
Julie has planned a little bit of a party. So are we ready to have a little bit of fun and enjoy this? Hello, everybody. Oh, that's beautiful. Look at that. That is... All right, it's party time.
All right, you're home.
Great job. Des, great job. Sean, Damon, Mike, Dan the man. Incredible. Gerhard, thank you so much for your work. Oh, you guys great. Oh,
No problem.
Really appreciate it.
No problem at all, Mike.
I know you're hungry, so you go ahead. Get in there.